Good day, everyone. Welcome once again to Education 505 Research Seminar and Practicum. In this video lecture, I will discuss the topic APA In-text Citations 7th edition. This video lecture is part of a series of video lectures on how to write a thesis or dissertation proposal as part of the requirements in the course Research Seminar and Practicum. So as you can see, this video lecture is included in the or is part of the discussions on technicalities in writing. And please note as well that this video lecture is a crucial part of my other course, Education 502, Methods of Research. Okay, as we can see, there are three major points that I will briefly discuss in this video lecture. The first one is on the meaning of in-text citation. Second is when to include page numbers in in-text citations. And third and last is the types of in-text citations. What I will do in my presentation is read my notes. So as you can see, just as in my other video lectures, I wrote my notes and do some side discussion. So that's what I will exactly do here. So let's start. An in-text citation is a brief form of the reference that the author includes in the body of her work. It gives enough information to uniquely identify the source in the reference list. The brief form usually consists of the surnames or the last name of the author or authors, if there are more than one author, and the year of publication. In other words, an in-text citation is a short acknowledgement that researchers or authors include whenever they quote or take information from a source in academic writing. The in-text citation, therefore, points the readers to the source so they can see where the researcher or author got the data or information. Now, in the case of the APA style 7th edition, in-text citations consist of the author's last name and publication year. For example, we may say, mathematical anxiety refers to the individual's unpleasant emotional mood responses when confronted with a mathematical situation. Some of the manifestations of this type of anxiety includes, but not limited to, depression, helplessness, nervousness, and fearfulness in doing mathematical and numerical tasks. And then as you can see in red colors, we have there Smith 2022. So we have the name, the last name of the author and the year of publication. So this means that the sentence that precedes this citation, this information, is a paraphrased form of the contention of Smith. And then, as I will explain later, in this kind of citation, we are referring to the entire work of Smith. So we do not put the page number here because we are citing the entire journal article or book authored by Smith. I will explain that very briefly later. Please note that when citing a specific part of a source, you need to include a page number or range. So I'm now moving to the second major part of this brief discussion on APA in-text citation 7th edition. So again, when citing a specific part of a source, you need to include a page number or a range or number of pages. For example, you may say, some of the manifestations of mathematical anxiety include, but not limited to, depression, helplessness, nervousness, and fearfulness in doing mathematical and numerical tasks. And then we put the citation there, the in-text citation, Smith 2022, page 9. So in the previous discussion, as you can see, in the previous slide, you can see there just the last name of the author and the year of publication, because in this case, even if we paraphrased the contention, the position, or the statements of Smith, of the author, we are referring to the entire book of Smith, or we are referring to the entire journal article that Smith authored. But in this case, in this example, Smith 2022, page 9, we are not referring to the entire journal article or the entire book, but we refer to a specific contention or statements of Smith, and then in a particular page, and then paraphrased it, and then of course cited. So when we say Smith 2022, page 9, we are talking about the specific contention or contentions of Smith found on page 9. So again, if that's the case, if we are citing a specific part of the entire book, of the entire journal or book journal article or book chapter, then we got to put the page number. So that's the main difference there between citing the entire book or the entire work, journal article or essay or book, or citing a specific part of the book. So that's when we include the page number in the in-text citation. And then we have in the second example the range, which reads, and of course it's the statement is not part of it. I just write the statement so that we can see that the in-text citation is part of the text of the paper. Let me read it. Some of the manifestations of mathematical anxiety include, but not limited to, depression, helplessness, nervousness, and fearfulness in doing mathematical and numerical tasks. And then we wrote in the in-text citation, Smith 2022, pages 68 to 69. Because unlike the first example, which we wrote that page 9 only, in this case, the specific contentions or statements or arguments or ideas of Smith is found not just on page 9, not just on one page, but is found on pages 68 to 69. So there are 2 pages. So the entire idea or arguments or statements of Smith, of the author, covers 2 pages. But with that passage, which covers 2 pages, the author, or in this case the researcher, paraphrased it, summarized the entire idea, put it in his own words, and expressed that in his own, of course, express it in his or her own words, and then cite the author. So we have the range there. And in the case of the page numbers, we have their pages 68 to 69. We use N dash because that's the rule in EPA. But I will not discuss why when to use N dash in this case, because I will reserve another video lecture on the topic, because I will be producing more video lectures on the EPA style 7th edition. So stay tuned for my next video lectures on EPA style 7th edition that you can use in your thesis or dissertation proposal writing, or thesis dissertation writing, and so on. Now let me move to the again. Before I move to the last part of this lecture, again, I need to emphasize this one. We need to include page numbers in the EPA in-text citation if we're quoting a source, but we don't include page numbers if we are referring to the work as a whole, like the entire journal article or book. I think I have explained that fully already, so I need that push the idea further here. So let me now proceed to the last part of the third and last major point in this video lecture. That is the 2 types of in-text citations. So as we can see, there are 2 types of in-text citations in APA style 7th edition, namely parenthetical and narrative. On the one hand, parenthetical citations include the author or authors and the dates of publication within parentheses. For example, we may say mathematical anxiety refers to the individual's unpleasant emotional mood responses when confronted with a mathematical situation. And then we wrote Smith 2012. So that's a parenthetical in-text citations. So what we did so far are parenthetical citations. Um, Let me continue. Some of the manifestations of mathematical anxiety includes, but not limited to, depression, helplessness, nervousness, and fearfulness in doing mathematical and numerical tasks. And then we say Taylor, 2022, pages 68 to 69. So all these two in-text citations are called parenthetical citations because, of course, we put the last name of the author and the year of publications, and in the second citation, the page numbers or page numbers in parentheses. So parenthetical citation. In narrative citations, on the other hand, the author's name is incorporated in the text as part of the sentence, and the year follows in parentheses. For example, we may say, mathematical anxiety refers to the individual's unpleasant emotional mood responses when confronted with a mathematical situation. We have there Smith 2012 in parentheses, so parenthetical in-text citation. But in the next sentence, we say, Taylor 2019. So you see, the author, the name of the author is included in the text and then followed by the year in parentheses. So Taylor 2019 specifically identifies some of the manifestations of this type of anxiety, which include but not limited to depression, helplessness, nervousness, and fearfulness in doing mathematical and numerical tasks. So much for the discussion on the overview of the EPA style in-text citation 7th edition. I will be producing again more video lectures on how and when to use EPA style of referencing. Okay, so much for now. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you all the best in your thesis or dissertation writing. God bless and see you soon.